Minecraft lads, and welcome back to yet another video, guys. In today's video we're going to be doing another random vlog, and in today's random vlog we are going to be talking about quite a kind of personal topic, but I feel like I want to share it with you guys. We are going to be talking about what I'm calling the real downward spiral. Now, recently I was in year 11, as you know, but I've been having problems with something from the start of year 9 that I was talking to Aaron about it, and that was when he remembered people starting to say stuff and he started to notice a problem. People were saying, we go very deep today, guys. People were saying, as I said in the last video, I'm pretty sure there was some substance in their complaints. People were saying that I smell a lot of BO, body odour. Again, I'm not here to discuss whether it was true or not. I think it was to begin with, but then I kind of tried to deal with it, but then I wasn't seeing any results, so I kind of lost the motivation to do it. But we'll talk about that as we go on. So the big hitter for me was year 11. It was February half term. I had a really good February half term. Then I had to go home ill on the Monday. And then I was recuperating, and it wasn't until the Friday that I felt okay again. But then the following week, I just didn't feel like going back to school, I'll be honest. I really felt like really bad, and I felt like I didn't belong at school. I will be honest, I never, ever reached the point where I was considering killing myself. I did get quite low, but that never happened. I will say that much before we get any further. But I did reach one of my lowest lows and became very reclusive. I didn't want to do anything. I was in bed most of the day. I didn't make any YouTube videos. I wasn't evidently replying to emails because apparently Aaron emailed me and I completely ignored it. I'd gone from everything, and Aaron himself actually said he thought that something had happened because I was gone silent everywhere. But then, like I say, I'd been feeling dodgy, and then Mum got a call basically saying that they were going to send the 2 people that came around Christmas, after Christmas, around to try and help. But what we did this time was, instead of kind of going boom, 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 done, we took it more slowly, and we kind of built up this sort of rapport. And I know I'm jumping straight over the problem, but basically I was at one of my lowest of lows. I wasn't doing anything. I was really not happy. And then I went to school with Miss Vines, who, I've got to be honest, she is an amazing woman. I'm so sad that she's moving to another school next year because she is such an amazing person. Anyway, so basically we got to the school and she sat me down and she wrote me out this big list of all these people that had asked her about where I was. And there were all these people who, some of them I expected, like Mick and Richard and Adam. All these people had asked me about where I was, but some of these other people were actually concerned about my welfare, and people had actually noticed there was a problem. And to me, for someone who had been trying to deal with it with just, not on my own, but me and Aaron had been kind of trying to deal with it, because this is the problem I was experiencing. I knew there was a problem. I was like, okay. At certain points, people flat out told me, you stink, and a lot of the time, one of the biggest things I had was people saying they were feeling sick around me, which made me feel very self-conscious. But, again, there was a problem. But I was trying to rectify the problem. But then I found that there was no avail. So I would really, really put my 100% effort in for a few weeks, but then nothing would change. Nothing would. So, you know what I mean? You kind of lose the motivation to do it, which is what happened to me. And then we hit February half term. But she gave me this list of all the people that actually cared, and this was just staff. And then later on, like I said in the last video, I got a message from someone who, for me, as I said in the monologue, he's like, I'm down here on the popularity, I was about here on the popularity ladder, because people, I'd say I was in the lower middle tier, and she's like up here, in my opinion. And she messages me and she's like, how come you've not been at school? You're alright. And it's just that one thing really made me happy, but kind of, it got me a bit emotional, because it's like, well, people actually like she was actually wondering when I was a kid. Aaron, like I say, I tracked down Aaron and I said to him, I explained everything that had happened. And all these people that I mentioned in the last video, like Keely, Kai, Eliana, Hakeem, Ahmed, Jalil, and even Saeed, were all just kind of happy to see me again, which I think was nice. And then I remember there was one day where I got moved in maths, which was definitely one of the best things that's happened to me in maths, because I'll be honest, maths was one of the problem subjects. But I got moved onto a table, and the first time when that happened, I thought that, in my mind, I'm thinking, because I was the only one that got moved, and Miss had said, oh, I'm going to move a load of people today, and she moved only me. And I thought, oh, you know, you blame yourself, so I nearly started crying. But I held in. And then we had another issue, or we didn't have an issue, but later on in the day, I read something that Aaron had written, and I nearly cried because I found it very kind of good. But then later on that day was the day that I got a message from Keely telling me that if I wanted to talk, she wouldn't mind listening. And that, again, it was all just like, that time I actually genuinely did cry, because I was like, at that point I'd nearly cried twice. So it was like, okay, I'm actually, and that was, this is very, I guess I'll say, this is very personal to me. And I've said it before, I've said it again, I'm very grateful to every single person that in some way made me feel happy in the last couple of weeks and months of secondary school. And I always tend to say now, this is one of my biggest things, and I mentioned this in the monologue, there's no high praise I can give to these people, because to me they're like angels. And as I say, not all angels have wings. The biggest one there is, not all angels have wings, some have stethoscopes. But here, definitely, I'd say that certain people definitely saved me from one of the darkest times of my life. And as I wrote in the monologue, which I will hopefully read at some point, I said something along the lines of, they pulled me from the train before it crashed, or something like that. Which I feel was true. But basically, the school helped me to put this thing in place, where I would come in earlier, Mrs. Morgan, our year head, bought a whole new set of uniform for me. And I kept it originally in the room where, in what was known as OM1, but then I moved it to Mick's office, and it was kept in there, and I had a little fob, because that's the point, I had a fob, people were wondering, I had a fob, but it was kept at school, I went and picked it up every morning, I carried it around with me, did the stuff I needed to do, and returned it in the evening. I didn't do anything else besides that. That's the only thing I did, if anyone from school is watching this, okay? So, that was the thing, and I'd come in the morning, I'd have a shower, I'd have washed my clothes in the school, in the PE cupboard, during the, overnight, and then I'd go ahead and put on my uniform, and then I'd go ahead and go about my day, and then after school I'd get changed, and into like casual clothes, and then I'd go and help Mick and Richard. That was one of the biggest things. One of my favourite lessons was ICT, I'll be honest. Me and Aaron just had a load of laughs because with Mr. Patel, we loved his lessons, because at this point we were just revising, and it was just fun because we'd have a laugh and have some fun, really, and that was all really I needed. And yeah, I mean, the downward spiral for me was a very, very drastic one, but I felt at the darkest of dark, the lowest of lows. But I kind of felt like, as I said, people kind of pulled me out of that, and overall I felt very appreciated, and I actually got a little bit emotional when I heard all these people, that the staff list of people that actually cared about me, and Miss Vines actually sent out an email saying, explaining what had happened, and she actually included in it saying that I'd gotten emotional, and they were all really, and a lot of the teachers were really quite, they were like, oh, about it. But I was grateful, even to the staff, for picking up on it. And I think just people had noticed that I was starting to walk taller, and that was one of the things that some people said to me. And it was all just, it was one of the best moments of my life, overcoming what had happened. And as much as, like I say, yes, I can acknowledge there was a problem, I just needed help in dealing with the problem. And the school, there's a reason why the school has an outstanding Ofsted grade, because the school helped me. The school came through for me. The school delivered for me, where my primary school had told me and my mum told my mum that I didn't have autism and she was just a bad parent, secondary school, which again I'm not mentioning any names, they'd come through and helped me through what was one of the most difficult times of my life, and helped me to turn what had been a drastic negative into making a whole load of new friends who, I'll be honest, I haven't actually spoken to in a while. So, if any of you are watching, hi. But anyway guys, that is for me. I've been wanting to talk about this for ages. I hope the people, by the way, I hope the people that are watching, who I've mentioned their names, don't mind me mentioning their names. If you do, I hope you don't, but if you do, just let me know and I will work around it to your requirements. But yeah, those are the people that really helped me to change my life. You guys have enjoyed today's video. Before I go on much longer and would like to see more content like this on the channel on a more personal level, because I do have other ideas I would like to do. So if you guys enjoyed this more personal video, please do let me know down in the comment section below, and you can also let me know by liking the video. And if you are new around here, please subscribe, because we do more funny and fun videos, as well as this not less personal but less sad. Not sad, you get what I mean. But anyway guys, this is why I tell you, and I always tell you this: you are awesome! And a new edition, don't let anybody tell you anything. Don't let people drag you down, because you will. The amount of times, because one of the things I will quickly say is, I felt that everyone was against me before I learned of all these people that actually appreciated me. And when I was talking to people, I'd mention to them why I'd had the problem, and they'd turn around and say, what? And they'd be shocked. And that would, every single time, it felt like a small victory to me. It was like, oh my god, they don't think that. They don't, all these people were like, they don't agree with what these other small group of people were saying. They are somewhat, they're supportive of me. They're kind of giving me this advice and this help, and it's just all like, it meant so much to me. So if any of you are people who gave me advice or support during this time of watching, thank you. I cannot thank you enough. You really did help me out. But anyway guys, that's going to be for today. So if you have enjoyed, I'm doing the outro now. Thank you so much for watching guys, and I will see you all in the next videos. Goodbye!